Oops, sorry about that. I accidentally closed it when I went to pick up my bottle to take a drink. Should be a few more minutes. Some of the others are still down the stairs giving their interviews. Plus, it'll take more time for people to get in here. Like, it may be like me never having been in here before, since it was a fire station.
Well,
that's a big hole in the ground. There's another photographer in here shooting pictures. He's been shooting pictures of the posters. I took some pictures with my tablet, wider shots, to instead of trying to capture each one individually. I want to show how they're laid out. And I can do that here. These posters on the wall of past boycott actions, subjects of the boycotts. For instance, the Red Africa, boycotting South Africa because of the apartheid. At that time, it was illegal for an American to buy a gold Krugerrand coin. And then after that boycott was lifted, when the apartheid regime got put down, then it was legal to buy South African gold coins. And I have a 10th ounce Krugerrand, dated 1988 or 89. One's a boycott Colorado, but I didn't look at the meaning of that one, but it just shows the history of these different boycotts, the subjects of the boycotts. Montgomery, Alabama? Yeah, Montgomery, Alabama. I've never been there. I've been to Birmingham, but that's it. Yeah, but that was a long time ago. I have an aunt on my late dad's side who lives in Birmingham. Yeah, but I've only been there once. You know, yesterday, or no, Sunday was the Pettus Bridge commemorative march. And, yeah, unfortunately, there was no live stream of it, which is a bummer because that would have been. Yeah, I really haven't seen any pictures much. I really haven't looked.
Well, just that one of Obama walking at the front was all.
Yeah, but
Did you watch the movie, Selma?
no, I haven't seen it.
It's really good.
I just don't go to theaters because it's a luxury.
It is, but if you get a chance at some point, even after it, ends up being in theaters, it's very good.
I don't even have a Netflix subscription. Nope, I don't. That's to me that's another luxury. Of course, this is too, but I have a reason for that.
Yeah, is that a selfie stick?
Yeah, a monopod. I also have them for my tablet. Yeah. I can extend it. I can twist this thing, like that. So I can angle. Makes for a lot steadier shooting. Pomegranate berries, not too bad. Yeah.
It's sugar-free?
I believe so. I mean, I don't like artificial sweeteners, but, I just like the combination. Yeah, Walgreens sells these. There's a few other flavors. I wanted to try this one. And just like soda bombs, you can take it back to the store, get it nickel. Yeah, I still got a bit of a cold. While we wait for the other speakers to come up here, I want to give a shout out to any other live stream channels that might be rebroadcasting me. Whether it be Global Occupy News Network or Activist World News Now or any of the others that pick up individual stream feeds like mine and rebroadcast them. I'm trying to disappoint you. To the one who thinks old school communism. No, this is not about communism. This will be about Palestine. If you want something related to communism, you have to look elsewhere. I do these streams totally on my own dime. I do not get any support from any organizations, mainstream, nonprofit, or otherwise. I work solely for the viewers. And I do have donation links below the video view window on my Ustream channel page. So any donations through GoFundMe or PayPal, kindly greatly appreciated. I sacrificed to do this. And I recently ordered some new items to keep me going. My charger cords have been less than cooperative, so I ordered new ones, and I got them. And I ordered an extra battery for my phone, plus another one of those external power packs that can keep me going for a longer amount of time without having to change batteries. Plus, I got an extra battery coming, and I ordered a charger stand that can charge the phone and one battery at the same time. So that will definitely be a plus. So I could have used that money to buy other things for me or for Mila, but I choose to get those so that I can keep juiced up longer. And I got good deals on them. Also got a 64 gig memory card for the phone, but I just haven't put it in yet. So I live stream these events around Des Moines. Most recently I was at the Iowa Ag Summit, which was not, in my mind, a real summit. It was just a bunch of Republicans who prefer corporate ag business over real family farming. They don't want regulation to control pollution. They don't want regulation to control what goes into the crops that are grown, especially the GMOs and the pesticides and herbicides and all that crap. That's probably why I have some of the digestive issues I have. So I do check the chat frequently. So as this goes on, you know, if there's a Q&A session at the end, if you have any questions, please post them to the chat and I can read them and try to get answers. And one of the speakers, for her own safety, asked not to be captured on video, meaning she does not want her face to be shown, but I will capture audio only, and I will face the camera to the audience. Because she is taking a great risk to do this. Well, looks like we have a... Yeah.
I don't think we're going to film, just no faces.
Yeah.
Just audio.
Yeah.
That's okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can do that.
Awesome. So I was like, yep, thank you.
Will there be a QA session at the end?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I said, my viewers, if you have any questions, post them into the chat and I'll read them out.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great. You guys can take questions like no one's business. I know. Questions. So how many minutes? Let's figure out. PowerPoint in minutes.
They had hoped to do a PowerPoint presentation, which means projection of slides, but this room is not set up for that, so they'll not be able to do that. But the images, I'm sure, would have been quite powerful to show. But there will be a QA session at the end. So again, if you have any questions, post them in the chat. And
Okay, yeah, that's fine, yeah.
then I will read them out loud. And do keep them respectful, because after all, these people are here at great risk to themselves. And in order to protect them, I will not show their faces. I will keep the camera facing away from them, either at the audience or at the sidewalls, showing the posters, because I don't want to jeopardize their safety. But their voices will be heard. They will be sitting here. There's a table there. There's another one there. They'll be sitting there. The next thing that I will be involved in will be on the 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Food Not Bombs is teaming up with other local organizations to be part of Urban Ambassadors, which paid for an entry in the parade. And so, in addition to Food Not Bombs, there's another food-related organization that will be joining. So it'll be a collection of several groups together, and we will have one of our Food Not Bombs banners.
I'll signal either way.
I think they're working out their talk times.
Okay, so guys, before we start, I brought with me a very fine Palestinian handmade embroidery. We are 4 women, I and 3 women from West Bank. They do the handmade embroidery. We are not organization. I do this just for them. They can be independent, have the sense that they are accomplishing, and not to wait for their husbands to give them money and go buy things for the house, for example. So our project, our project is named Atiyya. It's after a 5 years old boy who fought cancer, eye cancer, since he was 2.5 years. So I met Atiyya, the mother of Atiyya, in the hospital when I was volunteering there. So after his death, he died 2 years ago. So after his death, we decided that maybe we can do something to commemorate his name, and also for the family to benefit their stuff. Because you know, when you have a child who is ill with cancer and you are traveling for a cure from the West Bank to Jerusalem and crossing checkpoints, it is costly. And even a rich family from the West Bank to cross points and to have taxi from one point to another point, it is really costly for them. So we just, I aspire that these women have the strength to feel a little bit power and believe in themselves. I just sell for them. I don't benefit from them. It's a volunteer thing. Even the mother of Atiyya said to me when I came to the US, and I told her that I'm going to have the embroidery with me. So she tells me, "Oh no, don't get busy with our stuff. Just live your life, go travel, do shopping. If you have extra time here, please don't be busy with us." So for me, I will put them there, and you can look. It's really fine things that we made. It's a really special things we made. If you have any questions about the embroidery, or what is a real embroidery, what is a fake embroidery, how we do the embroidery, different questions, I'm ready to answer them. Okay? Okay, so I'm setting them there. Okay?
Again, for the security of our guests, I will not be showing their faces.
Do we need the mic? Do they need the microphone, or is it better at the microphone? Okay. We want to move the chairs. This court.
Yeah, it's wrapped around the table.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming this evening. We are delighted and honored to have our three wonderful guests here tonight. All three women work together on a project in Israel, or in Palestine, in Gaza, the West Bank, called Palestine Youth Together for Change. They're going to talk to you more about their project and their experiences and how identity, Palestinian identity, and the fragmentation of Palestine, and how they're working towards building Palestinian cohesion. And what this, I guess, the fragmentation of the Palestinian land and their people, and how they're taking steps, inspiring steps, leading movements, moving forward, and are going to share that all with you today, and also how we can be involved here in the U.S. and the impact we can have through our political power, our economic power, and social power. So I'm going to turn it over. Everyone, just introduce yourself first, and then.
Okay, my name is Mary Azam from Shafa Amr. It's a Palestinian town inside of the so-called Israel now. I work in Jerusalem and I live in Beit Jala, which is illegal. Don't tell anybody. And I'm on this project for 2 years now. I studied psychology and English literature from the Hebrew University of Jerusalem.
And my name is Aya Bashir. I live in Gaza Strip in Palestine. I survived the 3 attacks, 2009, 2012, 2014. I was born in the first Intifada, so I also survived 2 Intifadas. And I'm 26. I did my master's in global politics. I was lucky that I get out of Gaza for 1 year. And we will talk about Palestine a little bit tonight.
Hi everyone, I'm Tamara Tamimi. Currently living in an area between Ramallah and Jerusalem called Kufur Aqab. I'm 26 years old. I graduated 4 years ago from Birzeit University with a major degree in biology and a double minor in English literature and translation. During the past 4 years, I have worked with various Palestinian non-governmental organizations in the education, contemporary art, women's rights and empowerment, and youth rights fields. And I'm aspiring to continue my master's, maybe in September in the UK. Yeah, that's about it. And I don't think my friends mentioned that today our presentation will focus on how the policies of the Israeli occupation are fragmenting our land, are fragmenting our national identity as a people, as the Palestinian people, and we will connect it to how it impacts our daily lives.
Okay, so our project with the FSC and 3 organizations. The first one is Baladna from inside of the state, inside of the 48 borders, which is, Israel, and we have the Pal Vision, the West Bank, including Jerusalem, and Al Shabaka Policy Network, Palestinian Policy Network. So our project is called Mitharkin, which means in English movers. We are 60 activists, 20
20 from Palestinians inside of the state of Israel, 20 Palestinians from West Bank, and 20 are from Gaza Strip. We work on one case, which is the violations on the right of freedom to move, and how these violations of movement are affecting our national collective identity. So we aspire, the name Movers aspires aspires to move freely in Palestine, to have our collective national identity and not just three separate areas. Okay, so we are going to discuss two main figures in what is happening inside of the state of Israel and in the West Bank and in Gaza Strip. So we are going to speak about fragmentation. First, land fragmentation, our relationship with land, and second, our identity fragmentation, and how the restrictions on movement creates separate identities for all Palestinians. So I born in the state of Israel, in my homeland, of course. Yeah, I have the citizenship, the Israeli citizenship. First, I will be speaking about the land fragmentation. I come from a town near the Galilee, in the Galilee. So the Galilee mountains are known for their almond trees, for their olive trees, for their grapevines. This is our nature. So what the colonial body in Palestine did is that the Israeli government, that they are separating our connection with nature by suppressing the natural plants, by planting cypress and pine instead of our traditional plants that we take food out of them. So what they do is that they plant these high trees first in order to eliminate our nature, and second to hide the demolished villages that they were demolished in 48. So this one reason, or this is one aspect of the land fragmentation that we live. We also face laws that also prevent us to interact with our nature. For example, we do a very nice za'atar, which is wild thymes. So we are known to go to the mountains and collect wild thymes and to make food out of it. So if I want to go with my mom to the mountains and collect it, the settlers around Shifa Amr, they will say, they will call the police, and the police will come, and they will give us a fine about $1,000 to $2,000 just for collecting wild thymes, which the government, the Israeli government, says that, oh, this is a preserved plant, we shouldn't collect it anymore. But if you don't collect it, they will disappear, and they are disappearing gradually. So this one aspect of fragmentation that we live inside of the state of Israel. They call us minority, but I assure you that we are not minority. I see my continuation in the West Bank. I see my continuation in Gaza Strip. I'm going to speak also about the identity fragmentation. I finished high school without knowing anything about Palestine. I'm just like, if they ask me, who are you? what's the history of this land? So when so I sing in a choir. I have been singing in a choir. So we went, my choir, which are girls from the same town, we went to Spain to sing there with another two choirs, one choir from Morocco and the other choir is from Spain. So the first day when we wanted to introduce ourselves to the other groups, the other choirs, the girls from my town, each one said her name, and yeah, I'm from Palestine, yeah, I'm from Israel. And I looked at them and I said, oh my goodness, we are in the same town and everyone says a different state and different name. So I looked at them and I said, oh my goodness, who are we? Do we have a flag? Do we have a national soccer team? Do we have who are we? So I started searching and I just knew that we are just separated from the world and we are separated from ourselves. So this separation comes from different practices. If we look at them, these practices, it's just the colonial practices. But because the colonial term is not really popular, we will say racist, we will say discriminative laws. But as a Palestinian holding the Israeli citizenship, I am not allowed to go to visit my Arab brothers in Lebanon, or to visit them in Syria, or any other Arab country who are for Israel is an enemy. So if I go there, it will be like a treason, or like you are dealing with our enemy, like you are giving secrets of our states. I'm like, secrets? Like I really don't know any secrets about your state. So we are like separated from the 48. We are separated from the Arab world. Not just that. We were under a military rule which like separated us a lot of our brothers. I am not allowed also to go to visit Tamara in the West Bank. It's unthinkable for me to go to visit Aya. There is a law in each entrance of a Palestinian village. The Israeli government will put a sign that will say it's forbidden for any Israeli to enter the Palestinian territories. And like, but I want to, like, these are my nation, my brothers. Like, what, I cannot go with them. Your sisters. Thank God it's not an active law, but it's there. What is active is that I cannot live there, but I'm living there. So you can imagine that I'm doing an illegal thing, and like you know it, it's illegal. I cannot fix my car there. So I can put for jail for 3 years if I fix my car there. I work in a governmental office, which I didn't have to say it on the mic, but yeah. And I'm thinking now that if I say to boycott Israel, or to boycott, to speak about these practices, I think like I'm saying to myself, will I disappear for 1 week or 2 weeks? The intelligence will make me disappear when I go back. Will they harass me in the workplace till I quit? What they will do to me? I know that they will make my life hard, but it's hard. So like you can bring whatever you have. Like my life is hard already. So this is one example of community. I cannot move, and this restriction in movement separates me from the idea that we are a nation. I cannot imagine that we are a nation, but the language we speak, the accent we speak reminds me again, the food that we eat like proves to me that we are a nation. We have a history. This is one side. we are in the Palestinians inside of the Israel. We are in under harsh regime. They will call it discriminative. We have discriminative laws, but one of these manifestation of this regime is that we have a strict educational curriculum. So all the books that we study in are approved by the intelligence, approved by the Israeli officers, and not very late. Back in 2005, there was official position in the education ministry for an intelligence officer. Intelligence officer to say yes for a person to be a principal and to approve someone to be a principal in a school or not. So if this guy who is like want to go to be a principal in school, and he maybe or she participated in a demonstration when she was young or when he was young, so he knows that the job they will not accept him in this job. We have a lot of restrictions. Okay. So I'm just going to say last thing about what kind of displacement that we have. My mother does not consider herself as a Palestinian because she was raised by the generation who was under the military rule. So I went back home, and in a lovely evening I told my mom, "Can you make me a cup of mint, hot mint?" And she said, "Yes, of course." And she started making it and started to sing a song about mint. It's a folklore song. It's a Palestinian folklore which says na'na. Na'na is mint. So she says the na'na ya na'na, akhdar ya na'na. It's talk about the bride who collects na'na and give it to the groom to fall in love with her. So basically, this is traditional Palestinian song, and my mom, who does not consider herself as a Palestinian, is singing it. And for me, I didn't hear it. It was the first time I heard, and I was shocked. So I assumed that she heard it from her grandmother, because my mom doesn't know how to use the laptop and to search on YouTube to figure out this, which I did. So actually, we are living a displacement inside our homeland, and it's the cruel thing that you can do for a society and people. Thank you.
Yes, Marie shared some very deep stories with you, but my stories would be a little bit different. The policies of the Israeli occupation, they take a different manifestation in my life. Now, people normally ask me, Tamara, where are you from in Palestine? And I don't really know what to answer them, because all of the following four answers can be correct. I could be from Jaffa, in present-day Israel. I could be from Jenin, in the northern part of the West Bank. I could be from Jerusalem, and I could be from Ramallah. All of them are correct answers here. And so, and I don't live in either one of these four. Now, my situation can be summarized in the following. It's a very long story, so I'll just say the essentials here. My grandfather and my father, my father's side of the family, they are originally from Jaffa, in present-day Israel. or actually they're not sure if they're from Jaffa or Jenin, because 100 years ago they were living in Jaffa, but they owned land close to Jenin, and currently in the West Bank. So they themselves, they don't know if originally they are from Jaffa or Jenin. But then in 1948, my grandfather's family was living in Jaffa. But my grandfather was living in what is now considered to be the western part of Jerusalem. So during the 1948 ethnic cleansing, when at least 700,000 Palestinians left their homes and land, my grandfather fled from the western part of Jerusalem to what is now considered the eastern part. And his family left Jaffa and went and settled in their land close to Jenin. So when the remainder of Palestine was occupied in 1967 and East Jerusalem was annexed, my grandfather and my father, they received Jerusalem identity cards, even though they were not from Jerusalem. So yes, this is on my father's side of the family. On my mother's side of the family, my mother and her family, they come from a village close to Ramallah called Kobar. And so they have West Bank identity cards. So when my mother and father met, they were working in the same place in Birzeit University. They got married, and my father applied for something we call reunification, which means that he requests that she be given a Jerusalem ID, because he has a Jerusalem ID. So their application was refused 3 times. And so my father had a Jerusalem ID and my mother had a West Bank ID. And then my sister was born in Ramallah, and the Israeli authorities didn't accept to register her in my father's ID. They said that since she was born in Ramallah, she will have to be registered in my mother's ID. So my sister had a West Bank identity card. Now the year after that, I was born in Jerusalem, so I was registered with my father. So we are a very small family of 4 members, but like 50% of us have Jerusalem identity cards, and 50% of us have West Bank identity cards. And so this creates a very difficult situation for us, because my father and I, we have to prove every year to the National Insurance Institute that we live in Jerusalem. And we prove that by paying a tax on the house, a tax on the neighborhood, all sorts of taxes. We pay a monthly or no, a yearly amount to the National Insurance Institute, all these sorts of things. Now, if we were to live in Jerusalem, then my mother and sister, they cannot live with us, or if they live with us, then they cannot leave the house, because then they took us checkpoints to get to work, to get to their universities, to everything. And so we have to live in an area between Ramallah and Jerusalem called Kufar Aqab. This area, in 1999, it had 17,000 inhabitants. Now, in 2000, or last year, in 2014, it has a little bit more than 70,000. Because many people who have this kind of divide in their family, they only can live in that area to pay all of the taxes that they need to pay. So in order not to lose their identity cards, because if you don't prove each year that give you an alternative identity card, and so if you want to travel, like I'm traveling now, and you want to return to your country, you have to return on a tourist visa, for example. And so this area that we live in is considered